If you're watching this video, you are probably a professional, whether you are an acupuncturist or a lawyer, and you're wondering what type of business structure do you need? So in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between a professional LLC and an LLC. I'll go over the pros and cons of each of them, and then I'll also show you how to decide and choose the best legal structure for you. Now, full disclosure, I am an entrepreneur. I am not an accountant. I am not a CPA. I am not a lawyer. But what I am is an entrepreneur that has dealt with dozens of professional business owners and helped them grow their business over many years with organic marketing. And what I've learned is that a lot of professionals do not really know what to do, hence why I'm creating this video. So to go over the experiences that our clients have had and hopefully allow you to learn something that you can then go for and make a decision with. So let's get started. An LLC is a limited liability company. They're great, by the way. They offer a lot of flexibility and benefits, especially in terms of taxation, and allows you some ways to lower your taxable income as an entrepreneur. It allows you to protect your personal assets from any business liabilities or lawsuits, which is awesome. And it's suitable for, honestly, pretty much any business, but a wide range of businesses. You actually don't even need to be from the USA in order to open up an LLC in the USA. And the USA with the LLCs are technically called pass-through entities, which is why so many people create LLCs. What that means is essentially you don't really pay a ton of tax depending on where you register your LLC. And the income that you derive from that LLC is what is taxed. So basically, it's a pass-through entity, which means you're taxed when you pass it through to your person, yourself, and that's how you're getting taxed, not the actual LLC itself, for the most part. Again, this varies between every single state. A professional LLC is what it sounds like. It's an LLC for licensed professionals. So it does also offer personal asset protection. It's still a pass-through entity. But the really big caveat here is that everyone who uses a PLLC must be licensed in their respective professions, and you have to include PLLC in your business name. That's another big stipulation. So the key difference is, obviously, anyone can create an LLC essentially, but for PLLCs, you are required to have a professional license and be in good standing. That is actually going to be checked and validated, so you won't be able to open one until that is completed. So it requires proof of your professional licensing, and they do their due diligence to make sure you're in good standing. And then both of the PLLCs and LLCs offer protection against your personal assets, but if you are sued for malpractice, that can go beyond the actual corporation. And really goes to you, the individual. So that's important to notice, to know that you're not really shielded against malpractice with either of these options. And then naming requirements. As I mentioned before, if you do the professional route, you have to include PLLC in your business name. If you want the full table breakdown of pros and cons, I've included a link in the description below to my website where I break down this entire comparison of LLCs and PLLCs on that site, so you can go and check that out and read it in your own time if you wish. So which one should you choose? You're going to do two things before you decide to do anything. Number one, check with your governing body. I recommend calling the support line. They usually have them, but if not, and even if they do have one, sometimes the support people are not that very helpful. So you actually might have to review through your professional governing body's licenses and laws and determine if you are required by them to have a PLLC. The second thing you're going to do is look at your state regulations, because even though your organizing body might not require a PLLC, the state that you are practicing in might. So does your state have that requirement? If you answer those two questions, you will know whether you are required to open a PLLC. And if you are not required to open a professional LLC, then you have the opportunity to open an LLC in a tax optimized state like Delaware or Wyoming. And that's really where you can get a lot of those zero tax LLCs is by opening them in those states. Obviously, the income you take from your LLC personally is going to be taxed still, but you have the option to open it in a place where your LLC is not taxed at a really high rate as well. And if you want to do that, I highly recommend using Doola. I'll include a link to Doola down below. They'll open your LLC for you. They'll do all of your compliance. They'll actually file your taxes and your state and federal registration every single year. I love the Total Compliance package. That's exactly what any entrepreneur needs in order to just make sure your taxes are filed, they're on time, and that you are checking off all the boxes you need to with your legal requirements and tax requirements as an LLC. Now, if you have an LLC and you just realized you need a PLLC, I have some good news for you. You can convert an LLC into a professional LLC. You basically have to do a couple more steps, including obviously verifying that you have your license with your professional body, and then also filing articles of amendment, updating your operating agreement, and verifying your state allowance. And so wherever you created your LLC, whether you use Doola, like I recommend, or you use the lawyer or a different company, they should be able to help you do this conversion, or at least point you in the right direction on someone who can help you do this conversion, but you can do it nonetheless. So what are the benefits of professional LLCs? They basically have the same tax benefits as an LLC. You typically will have to have your professional LLC in the state that you actually operate in. So you might not have as much tax flexibility with a professional LLC. And they're both still pass-through entities. And so you are subject to self-employment taxes on the income you receive personally from a PLLC or an LLC. And they basically have similar tax deductions for both of those. So choosing between a professional LLC or just a regular LLC, here's what you need to do. You need to check your state requirements. Does your state that you practice in require you to have a professional LLC? And then you're going to check your professional association. That is where you are licensed to practice and what state that's in. Do they require you to have a professional LLC? And then third, I would also consult with a legal professional in your state just to really check all the boxes to make sure that you know for certain whether you are required to have a professional LLC or not. And if you're not, then I highly recommend you use Doola to create your LLC. They take care of all of your state filings, all of your tax filings for you. They keep it on time with their Total Compliance package. It's what I use. Highly recommend it. Go check it out in the link in the bio, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.